Welcome to the Nagual Zone. I'm Anaam. Today we talk about inner silence, the one elusive subject that even amongst people who are interested in the Toltec ways is the last thing that the seeker, the student of the Toltec ways will actually focus on. People want the dreaming and they want stalking, because it feels good, right? You're doing something amazing and you're so amazing. Stalking and endless discussions are had on Reddit and Castaneda forums and everywhere. And there's this one subject that's the master of them all, that 99.9% of the time doesn't even occur to the seekers of the Toltec knowledge to even begin to explore. In the way I approach it, the way I was trained, it was the foundation. It was the be-all and end-all of my training. Everything else was surrounding it. So, today I want to give you 2 points about inner silence that will keep you in good stead when you do decide to commit to it. The first point, you must become a student, just like you would strive to get the money together to go to university or complete high school and complete all the schools and the universities and get your degree, get your PhD and your whatever else. You strive a lot, don't you? Exams are coming and you give up all your pleasures and clubbing and partying and you sit down and study and you sacrifice. So if you are willing to do that for some absolutely, and believe me, absolutely worthless endeavor that will give you nothing of any value in life, any lasting value in life, don't you think you could bring to bear at least the same commitment and energy to the pursuit of inner silence, which will give you incredible rewards and lasting benefits, not just in this life, but every time you respawn with a mind wipe, your ability to remain inner silence will have accumulated and you'll bring it back in. Because inner silence is the only thing that lies beyond the mind. Did that ever occur to you? That if you are accumulating inner silence, even if your mind is wiped and you respawn in this lower astral dream world, simulation, farm, however you want to call it, then it doesn't matter. Because what actually matters is accumulating in your luminous bubble or luminosity, right? So the first point is you must commit to becoming a student of what? Not of inner silence. You don't know much about it. I'm telling you this. You don't know much about it. You don't. It's a passionate hobby with you at best, right? So the student of inner silence will not mean anything, becoming a student of inner silence. What you have to do is become a student of silence. Silence. Seek it out. Don't try and control your environment to everyone should be silent and my room should be silent and everyone should shut up and why is it so noisy and oh, it's so... That's not how you're going to become a student of silence. You become a student by observing. That's how you gain knowledge. So now, from now on, if you want to make it more than a passionate hobby in your life, and it will need more than that eventually from you anyway. Whether this respawn or the next lifetime or the next whenever. Eventually you'll have to decide to commit. At that point, you must start with just the study of silence. Become an avid student of silence. And you can only study silence by observing. Silence is not in the realm of doing. What you do decide to do is to observe. Keep away your opinions. Keep away your need to be right at all times. And simply learn to observe. And that study of silence around you will lead you to study the silence within you. I promise you this. And it's a much easier way to go about it. If you start trying to figure out some amorphous, nebulous concept called inner silence within you, you'll waste a lot of time, many years, and eventually you will become demotivated and give it up. And it's really, it'll suck all the energy out of you. It's a worthless pursuit. So I'm telling you, start by committing to studying inner silence everywhere you are. Drive it beyond the passionate hobby. Go for full commitment. Full commitment. Okay, second, there is a clear evidence that will tell you you're on the right path. And because the study of inner silence will take you many years, at least a decade, at least, many years. All right, let's be generous, at least 5 years. You will need to know what evidence to look for to know that you're not wasting your time yet again with yet another mini religion that you created inside you. And the evidence you want to look for, don't try and conjure up the evidence. It will naturally emerge within you if your study of silence is true, based on accuracy and what is. Then notice that over time, your need to know will start decreasing. And it will start being replaced by silence. You won't have so many endless questions about endless things in order to fill up you. You will be busy filling up you with something much more nourishing to the spirit, nourishing to the mind. And so watch out over time, if your pursuit of inner silence is true, over time your questions will decrease. Endless questions, why this and why, all the secrets of who is God, who is not God, who are we, why are we here, blah, 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 blah. On and on and on. Those will naturally start to disappear, because something inside you will start feeling far more satiated, far more nourished. You know how we feel after a nice meal, a happy meal. We feel like, nice. Your spirit will finally start feeling like that. And it's restlessness and discontent, which then gets expressed in terms of endless questions. And most of them are just useless queries designed to keep you occupied. That will subside. That is the clear evidence you want to look for. And remember, it takes many years. Be very patient and very committed. I promise you, if you look out for the things I've just talked about in this video, you will have cut out a lot of suffering and strife and confusion and you'll go straight like an arrow. These are the things warriors, especially in this cycle of arising of the modern Toltec warrior, it needs to be emphasized. Inner silence first, above and below and beyond, before anything else. And these are the ways to retain and in fact, re-energize yourself. Create even better mental health. Live a life of less discontent, boredom. All the things that Toltec warriors know leech the luminous being of their energy, their precious energy. You may also become one day capable of taking on the full brunt, the absolute tsunami of momentum that we call the mating instinct. But that's a story for another day, and I'm telling you, that's a very different game, and it requires very different levels of power to contend with. Spiritual power, personal power. Okay, so from here, start like this and invest your precious time, your years. You may be young, but you will never be young forever. So invest your precious time in what is actually useful and look for the evidence. Always check evidence, and I'm giving you the evidence. Look for this. It's one of the clearest evidence you will get. Your need to know will decrease. You'll feel far more satiated inside you over time. All right, on that note, have a great time ahead, week ahead, till I see you in the next video. Walk in freedom. Farewell.